Alright, let's look at solving some exponential and logarithmic equations. We'll start off with exponentials. So an exponential equation, our unknown or our variable, will be in the exponent of our term. So you see down here in example A, we've got an exponential term, base 3 exponential, 3 to the 7x power equal 27. And of course we want to solve for x, right? We want to know what x equals. So we've got to figure out how to get it out of the exponent and solve for it. So broken it down into 3 steps. Step 1 says isolate the exponential term. So get the term by itself, isolated, that you're trying to solve for. Again, you've got one exponential term in this problem, and it's already isolated. All right, and then try to obtain the same base so you can use exponent properties and bring down the exponent. Now, if you can't get the same base, then you go to the third step, introduce logarithms to solve it, and we'll use log properties. But in an example like A, we've got 3 to the 7x power equal 27. With that said, right, we can rewrite base 3 on the right side. So we can change both sides of this equation into the same bases. So we all know that 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, right? 3 cubed. So with that, right, we've got the same base now on both sides. So if the bases are equal, of course, the exponents would have to equal. So using our exponent properties, we can drop down the exponents and set those equal. And then what results? Right now we can solve the linear equation. So as we solve for x, right, we'll go ahead and divide out the 7 on both sides. And we come up with our solution here of x equal to 3/7. And then we should add in probably a fourth step, and that's checking your solution, which we could plug it in to check it. And again, we could check over here to the side. Let's check the answer we've come up with. So 3 to the 7 times x, 7 times 3/7 is supposed to equal 27. Well, yeah, 3 to the 7 times 3/7 power, well, that's 3 times 3, the 7 divide out. So we got 3 cubed equal to 27, which, yeah, 27 is 3 cubed. So we get a true statement. We plug in our variable unknown of 3/7. So we've solved for x. So we've solved the exponential equation. So that's for getting the same base. So if we get the same base, we can make it easy on ourselves. Now let's do another example. Let's go to example B. I've got an exponential equation here. I've got a base 2 exponential term that contains my variable, my unknown, x. Again, we want to know what x equals. Now, this time, we do need to go to our first step, right? We've got to isolate the exponential term. We've got to move that -5 over, right, to the right side of the equation. That will be our first step, right? We'll make a note of that. Need to isolate the exponential term. So let's go ahead and do that. So as we add the 5 over on both sides, we got 2 to the x plus 3 power equal to 40. Now, if I could get same bases on both sides, so right now I got a base 2 exponential term, and on the right side we got 40. Well, 40, I can't rewrite that one base 2. 2 to the 5th power is 32, 2 to the 6th power is 64. So again, that doesn't help me. So when I can't get the same base, we move to our third step. And that's where we introduce a logarithm. So we can take the log or natural log, a common log or log base e. And the reason I say that, right, we could use any log base and use log properties to solve it. I like to use common log and natural logs just so I can check them easily on my TIs. Remember, we have our shortcut keys for log base 10, log base e. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and introduce a logarithm. I'm going to do a common log on both sides. So I'm going to take log base 10, and remember we can abbreviate log base 10 just saying log. We don't have to write the base in there. So log base 10 of 2 or to the x plus 3 power equal to, let's do the same thing on the right side, right? We got to keep it equal. So we're going to take log base 10 of the right side equation. As we do that, we get log base 10 of 40. And now we can bring down the unknown, the exponent, using what property? So why did I introduce the logarithm? So I could use some log properties from our previous section. So I'm going to use the power rule. So the power rule allows us to bring down the power, right, and write it as a coefficient. So that would give us x plus 3 times log base 10 of 2 equal to log base 10 of 40. So right now we've got a linear equation, right? We got x plus 3 times the log of 2 equal to the log of 40. And with that said, right, we could go ahead and divide out the log of 2 on both sides and subtract 3, and we have our solution. So again, at this point, I'm trying to solve for x, right? I could just divide out the coefficient and then move the term over. So again, we can either distribute, right, or we can divide out the coefficient. I'm going to go ahead and do that, make it a little easier on ourselves. Let's go ahead and divide both sides by the log of 2. And as we do that, right, what do we come up with? We have x plus 3 equal to log base 10 of 40 divided by log base 10 of 2. And then our last step in this linear equation is we need to subtract 3, right? We need to move it over to the other side of the equation. And with that, we get our solution, x equal to log of 40 divided by the log of 2 minus 3. So here's my solution. Here's x. Now, I like that in that, let's go ahead and look at that as a decimal. So let's go ahead and get a rounded answer, but there's my exact answer. And you think back, change the base formula, log of 40 over log of 2 is log base 2 of 40. But I like that because I can put it in my calculator easily. So we'll go to our TI. Let's type in our answer. So we had a log of 40, right, divided by the log of 2. Right, and let's make sure we put that in. This calculator a little different. I'm going to type them in separately. On yours, a little easier with the parentheses. This app, a little more involved. But there it is, 5.32, and then we got to subtract 3 from that. So I end up with 2.3219. So 2.322, right, if we want to round it, right? So again, rounding our solution. So that's, again, looking at that right there on our algebraic, but that's our answer. We found our exact, we've also found approximation. And you can check it graphically too and look at intersection method, see the intersection point at that location also. Let's go to another example. Let's do example C. Let's do another exponential equation. And this one involves our natural base, our natural number of e, right, 2.713 approximately. Now as we're solving it, first step, we need to isolate. So let's go ahead and get this term by itself. So let's go ahead and divide out the 1,000 on both sides. Since it has a coefficient, we need to get rid of that by dividing it out. And as we do that, we get e to the 0.09t equal to 5,000 divided by 1,000, which is 5. And again, I've got an exponential statement. I cannot write both sides using the same base. Since I have a natural number e, I don't know how to write 5 using base e. But we can introduce logarithms, right? And then use log properties to bring down the exponent. So with this being the natural number, let's do the natural log. Let's do log base e, right, of e to the 0.09t power. Now again, we need to do the same thing to the right side of the equation. So we'll take log base e, or natural log, of the right side, which is natural log of 5. And again, now we could use the power rule, but we don't need to. This is why I did log base e. Remember our same base property. So I've got my same base rule, right, that I can use. I know that log base a of a to the x always equals x. So natural log is log base e of e. Well, we know this simplifies to 0.09t. So left side, using our same base property, log base e of e, remember they wash out. Think about it as my washout property. So So 0.09t equals natural log of 5, and then we can divide out our coefficient of 0.09, and we'll have our solution. So t equals the natural log of 5 divided by 0.09. So here's our solution. There's our value for t. And again, if we want an approximation, right, let's put that beneath it, which again, as a decimal goes, what's natural log of 5 divided by 0.09? So natural log of 5 divided by 0.09, I get 17.883. So 17.883, if we want to round that to the nearest thousandth, there's our decimal. So again, solving logarithms, or solving exponentials using logarithms. Now let's look at our last example here in this set. Let's go to example D. Now in D, it's a little different. Now in D, I've got two exponential terms in this problem. I've got a base 5 exponential, the x up here in the exponent, and I got a base 4 exponential with x up in the exponent. Now with that said, if I could rewrite both sides of the same base, I could drop down those exponents and solve for it. Well, both exponential terms are already isolated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and introduce logarithms. So as I was going to solve this one, let's do a log base on both sides, and I'm going to do log base 10. So I'm going to take log base 10 to the left side, which would be log of 5 to the x plus 2 power, equal to, and again, to keep it equal, we're going to have to do the same thing to the right side. So log base 10, the right side, which is 4 to the 1 minus x power. And now I can use my power rule. So we got the power rule. So what does it state? Powers become the coefficients. So let's apply the power rule, right? And let's bring down these exponents. So as I do that, I get x plus 2 times log base 10 of 5 equal to 1 minus x times log base 10 of 4. And with that said, now we've got linear expressions on both sides. We've got a linear equation. What I want to do, let's go ahead and distribute. Let's go ahead and simplify the two sides here. That'll be my next step. Let's go ahead and distribute. So as we distribute, right, we're trying to eventually, of course, solve for x. I get x times log of 5 plus 2 log of 5 equal to 1 times log of 4, which is log of 4, minus x log of 4. So distributing, I've cleared out my parentheses. Now with that said, let's go ahead and get the x terms together. I've got 1 on each side. I've got an x log of 5 and negative x log of 4. I'll move that over. All right, together with the other one, so we'll put them both on the left side. Now this constant term, 2 log of 5, right, we'll move it over here to the right side of the equation. We'll subtract it over. So let's go ahead and do that step. So again, to move it over, we're going to have to, again, add a x log of 4 over here to the left side of the equation to get that moved over. And then we'll go ahead, and I'll do it in red, we'll go ahead and subtract the 2 log 5 over here to the right side of the equation. And that will get my equation where I want it, which is the x terms together on one side. So we got x log base 10 of 5 plus x log base 10 of 4 equal to log base 10 of 4 minus 2 log base 10 of 5. Well, we're solving for x. So what are we going to do at this point? We need to factor. So let's factor out the common factor, right? What's the GCF? Right? The GCF, the greatest common factor, is x. So as I bring that out, I get log base 10 of 5 plus log base 10 of 4, right, equal to log base 10 of 4. And what I want to do here, let's go ahead and use the power rule. I know the power rule will allow me to bring that coefficient back up to the exponent. So that'll be log base 10 of 5 squared, right, 5 to the second power. And what do we know about adding logarithms? So when I see this, I notice product rule. Let's go ahead and simplify here. We're going to add 2 logarithms. So going back to our previous section, we know we can add two logarithms together with the same base by applying the product rule, which says we can take the product of the two numbers there we're taking a log of. So that'll be log of 5 times 4, right? Log of m plus log of n is log of m times n. And if you notice on the right-hand side, we've got a difference of two logarithms. So let's use our quotient rule, which we learned in our previous section. It allows us to subtract logarithms of the same base by dividing what we're taking log of. So it'll be log base 10 of 4 divided by 5 squared. So as we're solving this, right, we've got x, right, we got x log of 20 equal to log of 4 25ths, 4 over 5 squared. And then our last step, divide out log of 20 on both sides, and we have our answer. So what does x equal? So x equals log of 4 25ths divided by the log of 20. So there's my solution. Now again, that's something we can easily type in on our calculator also. So that's why I chose log base 10, so we could get an approximation if we wanted it. Let's go do that now. What is the log of 4 25ths divided by the log of 20? I get negative 0.6117. So I get negative 0.612. Negative 0.612 for my solution. Got a negative number for my answer. So there's x, and this exponential. We solved it. And with that said, again, with our exponentials, again, with x, we know, again, domain is all real numbers, so we don't have to worry about extraneous solutions like we would when we get to logarithms where our domain is restricted. We talked about in our previous section. But again, solving exponentials, right? Getting the same base on both sides makes it quick and easy. A lot of times we can't, so we can always use logarithms and then use properties of logs to bring down those exponents and solve it.